Continental, we go top. International, we go fly. So make we don't see how. I can we don't see how. Continental, we go top. International, we go fly. Make we don't see how. I can we don't see how. Continental, we go top.
94, 95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Citi News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
The GJA, in consultation with key stakeholders, will announce a nationwide media blackout of all police activities, demand sanctions and blacklisting of such officers from serving in international missions.
Ghana Journalists Association President Albert Jofo warns of a media blackout over attack on journalists. Also coming up, in the courts, suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono's case at the Human Rights Court thrown out. Same as former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's case against the Office of Special Prosecutor. And talking about the Office of Special Prosecutor, media personality and former board chair of the airports company, Paul Adom-Otchere, is currently behind closed doors after having been invited by the OSP to answer questions. Stephen, 87.3 City for more on that and other stories, including the staff of NEDCO in the northern region who have withdrawn their services over what they say is a continuous attack on them. And in business
community urges BOG to cap lending rates to boost credit access.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including in the western region on Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky 93.5 FM, or in Takrady. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ahafo region, we are on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. In the Ashanti region, we are on Alpha Radio 104.9 FM in Kumasi. We are also on Orange 107.9 FM, also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Global 105.1 FM in Ho and Adanu 107.7 FM in Adakluwaya. In the Northern region, we are on Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. In Upper West, Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. Upper East, Source 100.1 FM in Boko and Mike 105.3 FM in Navrongo. In Northeast, we are on Scarp 101.3 FM in Nakwanduri. Eyewitness News is also on YouTube and on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM. You can send your messages in reaction to our social media platforms. We'll start off with Ken Ofori-Atta, and the High Court has thrown out an application filed by former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta seeking to quash an arrest warrant issued by the Office of Special Prosecutor, OSP. Mr. Ofori-Atta had asked the court to declare the warrant unlawful and to strike out all related enforcement actions, including the request for an Interpol red notice. His legal team argued that the OSP acted outside its mandate and procedural bounds in securing the arrest warrant. But in a ruling delivered today, the court held that the application lacked merit. The presiding judge dismissed it in its entirety, affirming the validity of the OSP's action. Let's speak to lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta. Frank Davis is his name. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Good evening to your shameless message, Universe.
Good evening to you too. What's your reaction to the decision of the court today?
But let me put it on record. I was not the one who argued the application. Was argued by another lawyer, but of course I'm part of the Fridays too.
Okay.
I was on the pages of record. I wasn't in court here.
But you are not in court today?
No, I wasn't in court today. That doesn't really matter. I know I know what the application was all about. So.
Okay. But were you leading the team at least? Were you the lead counsel?
I just said to you that.
No, what I mean is that there's a team, right, of lawyers. Are you their leader? That's what I meant.
The lead counsel is Justice Nkapram.
Very well. Please proceed.
Yes. So yes. What was the question again?
I want to know what your reaction to the decision of the court is.
Oh, that. Oh, of course. I mean, it's all the court of first instance. The High Court has delivered its ruling. We would understand the next step to take, which is an avenue open to all of yours in such situations. The High Court has delivered its ruling. We would explore our other options in the very fullness of time.
When the court says the application lacked merit, it essentially means it's not an application that should be entertained at all. So
yeah, that is what the judge lordship said by his understanding of the application. That by itself is not sacrosanct. I started by saying it is always the court of first instance. There's always an appellate court. So if we explore our options and the appellate court agree with them, then we can make those arguments. But as to whether at this stage the application is without merit or not, is neither here nor there. He has delivered his ruling, so we will explore our options.
Immediately.
In almost all of these cases, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court have met in tandem agreed with the decisions which are handed down by the lower court. So it's always after the last dash is strong.
Immediately, have you decided to appeal this or not?
I said to you, we are exploring our options. We have not even received a certified true copy of the ruling. It was just read today morning. So we will apply for the certified true copy of the ruling, digest the reasoning of the court, and then we have to lodge an appeal. You'll be the first to know.
What is the consequence of the decision today, though, on your client?
There's no consequence. I think that the Honorable Judiciary has gone ahead to do whatever he wanted to do already. This was to reverse what we thought was illegal. So there is absolutely no effect on our client.
Which means then that the decision itself is moot because the action has already happened.
Yes, we had already done what we wanted to do. We had gone to court. The court to tamper with what he has done has been illegal. But the court decided today in the ruling that whatever he did was right. So I'm saying it is the court of first instance. We will apply for certified true copy of the ruling, digest it, and explore our next options.
The other side is also that the court has affirmed what the OSP has done, and this would empower the OSP more to expedite whatever action they were taking out. Now they don't have to be cautious at all.
Yeah, as the OSP not gone ahead to do so many other things after. So what is there again to do? The last time we read the OSP, there was this news circulating that the extradition processes that in comments has been, as it were, certified or affirmed by whatever in America. And we are still waiting. The OSP has been doing so many things. So what? Are you not in this country? Are you not aware of what is going on? He's been running amok, doing everything that he likes. So, why? What is there to gather?
Because you've used the pronoun he, it's almost as if you are referring to Kisie Jabin, so this is personam. And I'm going to ask you a direct question. As a lawyer...
No, it's the office of the special prosecutor.
Okay.
It is Kisie Jabin who is occupying that office.
Okay, good.
So if I say, what's wrong with it?
Very well. And that's actually what's going to trigger my next question. There's been a lot of talk around the OSP setup itself.
There's been a lot of talk around the what?
The setup of the OSP. And there've been
there's been a lot of talk about what I didn't hear what you said about
the setting up of the Office of Special Prosecutor in itself, the creation of the OSP.
Okay.
There are some views in some quarters that it was an unnecessary office that should not have been created. Others have said it's an office that has wasted our resources for the past, 7 or 6 or 5 years, and that it ought not to continue. As a lawyer who has seen the Attorney General prosecute in the past and seen the powers of the Attorney General hived off and some given to IOCO and now OSP, what's your candid view of the Office of Special Prosecutor as an office that has taken some powers of the Attorney General to prosecute corruption and corruption-related offenses?
Let me leave that judgment to Ghanaians.
I wanted your personal view.
Yeah, I don't have any personal view. I believe that judgment will be decided on by Ghanaians. The Office of the Special Prosecutor was set up for a particular reason. It was out of nothing that the office was set up. So I don't think it lies in my mouth to run a judgment on the office. Let Ghanaians decide whether the Office of the Special Prosecutor is a waste of our resources or indeed is an office which was set up to do what is specifically stated in the Act. So that judgment, I believe, should be left for Ghanaians. My opinion would not matter.
You are Ghanaian, and
I'm not given to running down state institutions. That is what I call it.
Yeah, but
I'm a Ghanaian. I can disagree with what the OSP does. But I'm doing now as one of the lawyers of Korea.
But when you say
but
that,
I believe
when you say Ghanaians will decide, it's not as if we put OSP at the polls and say choose whether the OSP should stay or go. So I don't know how Ghanaians are really going to judge whether the OSP has been running.
But many other people have been saying so many things about the OSP. That is why you were minded to ask me that question.
Yes.
Your question is not Adam. It was not asked in a vacuum. Many other people are running commentaries on the office, and I'm saying let's leave that judgment to the generality of Ghanaians. I'm just that man of about 35 million odd Ghanaians. So let them see that at the appropriate time, if Ghanaians are of the candid opinion that that office is moribund, we'll say so.
How is your client doing though? When was the last time you spoke to him? Because the last time his family communicated, he had gone through a surgery and was recuperating.
The good Lord God is keeping him healthy each single day.
Is he preparing to come home soon?
The good Lord God is keeping him months under. Why interested in his coming home?
I am not the one interested. The OSP is, and so.
Yes, so don't talk in the way you are talking. The OSP should be saying what you're saying. The OSP says he's bringing him. So let us wait for the office to bring him. That is what was said about 2 months ago. Yes. After the issuance of the Red Notice Alert. So let them all wait.
Yes, the OSP said he was bringing him, but his wife also said he was going to voluntarily come home. That's why I wanted to know if he's prepared.
His wife said so. His wife told you so?
Yes, she spoke to me here on Eyewitness
His
News.
wife spoke to you?
Yes.
That he will voluntarily come home?
Yes, when he recovers.
Yes, but he's still under medical supervision. So maybe the wife said that in contest. But if he is done with his medical charges, he sure will come home. America is not his home. Indeed, that was where he was before he relocated to Ghana. So I believe he loves Ghana more than America, so he will come when he has to.
Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's Frank Davis, his lawyer. One of the members of the team of lawyers for Ken Ofori-Atta. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. That's not the only thing that happened in the court. So this was at the High Court, and the High Court has various divisions, and this particular High Court took this decision on former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. While that was happening, there was another action or another application before the High Court in a different division, and again there was a decision. Eno, tell us that one.
The Human Rights Division of the High Court in Accra has dismissed a judicial review application filed by suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, ruling that the case constituted an abuse of court process and that the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain it.
It's okay. So let me talk to the man who went to bring us that story, Hansen Ajiman. He's our legal affairs correspondent. Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sandra.
Tell us more on this application by the suspended Chief Justice, because this is not the only issue he has in court, is it?
No. So she went to the Supreme Court, telling the Supreme Court to interpret various provisions of Article 146 in conjunction with other provisions to make certain declarations, such as her power or the right of her as an individual to elect for the proceedings to be in public, even though Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution says those proceedings should be in camera. Subsequent to that, she filed an injunction application asking the Supreme Court to halt the proceedings until the final determination of that interpretative issue that she sent to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court dismissed that application.
The injunction
application. So the main interpretation issue is pending at the Supreme Court.
Okay, so that's one.
That's one. Then now she instructed her lawyers to file a judicial review application at the High Court to say that the proceedings that are ongoing at the Justice Portman Committee are have breached her right to natural justice, and that the proceedings are being unfair towards her, and that her rights generally are being abused by the proceedings. And so she went to the High Court with about 9 reliefs. Essentially, key among these reliefs is that the committee proceedings are unlawful due to the registry's failure to provide her with authenticated petitions and responses. That she was also asking for the committee to be prohibited from continuing with the proceedings unless she's provided with the authenticated documents. She also was asking that the committee conducting the matter in an adversarial manner rather than an inquiry, meaning that the committee's style of doing things was that they pitched her against the petitioners for them to fight their matter, instead of the committee rather going into the issues, inquiring, doing it as an inquisitorial proceedings, which she says has been the practice in proceedings like this in the past. And another is that the composition of the committee is unlawful. She makes this point saying that members like Dana Demulevo, the former Auditor General, did not swear a certain oath of office that requires them to be on that committee. And also she raised issues about the fairness of Justice Portman being the chair of the committee, because some of the issues that have been raised against her, Justice Portman was, or in one way or the other, is linked to these issues. For instance, the petition related to Daniel Ofori. Daniel Ofori is saying that the suspended Chief Justice, in some proceedings against him, acted in a certain manner that he thought was not of the caliber of a Supreme Court judge or even a Chief Justice. The suspended Chief Justice is saying that in that same proceedings Daniel Ofori is talking about, Justice Portman was the president of the bench for that proceedings. He delivered a majority decision and she dissented. So to make that same Justice Portman to chair proceedings for her removal when matters relating to that issue will be before that committee will be unfair. And then Justice Asiedu, she's saying that Justice Asiedu already had started hearing matters relating to the propriety of the proceedings for her removal, i.e. the Vincent Esafua case. When the case started, Justice Asiedu was part of the judges who were on this case. He was then removed due to a reconstitution of the panel and now made a member of the committee. And she said Justice Asiedu has had a benefit of listening to some of the issues on the bench, and so she doesn't think that it's right for him to be on that committee. So those are some of the reliefs that she was seeking. And then she went ahead to seek reliefs about how proceedings went on at the committee, saying that on the first day of the hearing, she was not present. But even though her lawyer was present, the committee decided not to listen to her, to the lawyer, and went ahead to proceed on how it was going to do the case, sort of a case management conference, for want of better description, and saying that is a breach on her right to natural justice there, or the Australian pattern rule, because she was not heard. And then she goes further to say that the way proceedings are being done, she is not being treated fairly. She talks about the sort of searches that are being done on her, the fact that she's not allowed to access to her mobile phone, even though the petitioners are allowed access to their mobile phone. Sorry, the High Court judge today, in the person of Kwame, Justice Amuako, he then delivered his ruling and said that these matters that the suspended Chief Justice has brought to him to decide on are, one, an abuse of office, an abuse of the court processes, and two, that he doesn't have jurisdiction. Those that are abuse of court proceedings are those that you think are matters before the Supreme Court. So according to Justice Kwame Amuako, a lot of these issues respect to the committee proceedings, not giving her the petitions, the committee not being properly constituted. All these matters are being considered by the Supreme Court. Then he says that issues such as the committee, the Justice for One Committee, not listening to her on the first day, the Justice for One Committee not doing things in a manner that she thought a committee of that matter should do. He says that those are proceedings under Article 146, and Article 146(8) of the Constitution says those proceedings should be in camera, and it's the view of Justice Kwame Makon that he cannot go into those matters, and so indicated that for want of jurisdiction, he cannot grant the relief sought by the suspended Chief Justice.
So he did not necessarily refer the case to another court, he just simply dismissed everything.
Certainly.
Was the Chief Justice herself in court?
No.
She was not in court, it was her lawyers.
Yes.
Were you also in the other courts where the Ken Ofori-Atta case was decided?
Yes, so the Ken Ofori-Atta case had to do with the
OSP and the repatriation.
The repatriation.
The proper term, I think, is Interpol Red Notice.
The Interpol, we saw the release from the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Okay.
We got notes from the court. The case had been heard, and today was set for a ruling on the matter. The judge, after listening to the parties, indicated that the application by the former finance minister was unmeritorious, and so decided to decline the request to
Did
pass
anything
the wanted sign.
major happen in any of the other courts that you've been keeping eyes on today?
It's only the issue about the members of the Constitutional and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament decided to play their supervisory role and to visit various agencies under their belt. So they went to the Ghana School of Law, where they met with the Director of the Ghana School of Law, Berima Nanaopong, and issues about the reformation of legal education came up. The Director of the Ghana School of Law says the school is not opposed to the idea of decentralizing legal education, such that schools like Central University of Wisconsin, University of Ghana, GIMPA can run the professional course. But his point is that if they do it, he's saying that the Ghana School of Law can still compete. And so you glean from that he's envisaging that if that is done, the Ghana School of Law then will now run as a law school that may do LLB all the way to the professional course. But he indicated that if you look at the General Legal Council, the law that establishes the General Legal Council, indicated that the General Legal Council may establish schools for the purpose of legal education in Ghana. And so as things stand now, technically, the Ghana School of Law has no legal personality because there's no law creating it. And there's no statute for it. Like you go to the University of Ghana, you see a University of Ghana statute. And so he was appealing to the Committee of Constitutional Legal Affairs to help facilitate for a statute to be promulgated for the Ghana School of Law. The committee also then met with agencies under the Office of the Attorney General, where they met with the Office of the Registrar of Companies as well as the Law Reforms Commission, listened to their problems and gave them assurance that they will follow up on these issues.
Hansen, because you didn't go to a public school, I'm not sure you know what our day is.
I know our day.
Today is our day in the legal system, is it not? I hear today is the last day.
So there's a legal break.
So did they bring, you know, my first hour day, class 6, my mother cooked rice and put in a 555 bowl for me, and I brought it to the school and we ate it and then went home. And it was nice. So the lawyers and judges also did.
So the lawyers and judges.
Yesterday was our day for the Supreme Court. I was in the Supreme Court yesterday. I watched the Chief Justice preside over a panel. I watched my own father.
And I'm told
I watched my own father.
Justice Akabo for.
I saw him deliver my own lecture and evidence. And my father, Justice Amadou Tanko. And
Amadou.
Yeah, Amadou Tanko. And then
his lordship.
And yes, his lordship.
But talking
and
about.
They said they were going on vacation.
Yeah, talking about going on vacation. Even though the entire judiciary is going on vacation, usually what happens is that there's what they call vacation courts.
Oh, okay.
And so the Chief Justice will list out some courts that within the vacation period
they can sit.
And so
they have to
there are about 20
allowance.
I'm sure there are those arrangements, but it's been a practice. There are about 24 of them. The Greater Accra has 16 of those vacation courts. Eastern Region has 1, Central 1, Western Region 1, Ashanti Region has 3, and the Volta Region has 1. So
the lower courts will sit, but the higher courts, these are the only ones that would sit. Very well. Thank you so much. Hansen Ajima is our legal affairs correspondent. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi. If I take a break, we'll be back with more. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Boss man, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Wale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store, or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad, and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank Mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Life doesn't always go as planned. Maybe you dreamed of earning a degree, but something got in the way. Losing a parent, financial struggles, or life just happening. But what if I told you it's not too late? At Cracks Training Institute, we believe in second chances. With the ABE Level 6 program, your dreams are back within reach. If you hold an HND or a 2-year diploma and have valuable work experience, this is your opportunity. The ABE Level 6 is recognized by Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, GTEC, and equivalent to a bachelor's degree. But that's not all. It also qualifies you to enroll in any university in Ghana for a master's degree. And here's the good news. Admissions start this August. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. Take the first step towards rewriting your story. Call us today at Cracks Training Institute on 0552 222217, 0552 222217, or visit cracks.edu.gh.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. And what else do we have?
Let's go to the quarters of the GJA because they have threatened to impose a nationwide media blackout on all police-related activities if urgent and decisive action is not taken to address recent assault on journalists. The warning comes in the wake of over 10 violent incidents involving media personnel, including the assault of a GH1 TV reporter during the Ablekuma North parliamentary rerun on July 17 and a separate attack on July 30 involving Joy News reporter Carlos Caloni, his cameraman, and an eyewitness by armed military officers during a demolition exercise at Spintex here in Accra. Speaking at a press conference today, GJA President Eyewitness condemned the incidents in strong terms, describing them as unacceptable and dangerous to the country's democratic fabric.
When a journalist is attacked, arrested, intimidated, or harassed, it is not merely a personal harm, there is a constitutional breach. There is an assault on the public's right to know. There is an erosion of democracy. To this end, protecting journalists is not an act of kindness, it is a constitutional obligation of the state and its security agencies. The GJA's position going forward: zero tolerance for impunity. Zero tolerance for impunity. The GJA will not be silent or tolerant in the face of systematic violence against journalists. The association will no longer accept symbolic condemnations without action. We will no longer allow the work of journalists to be criminalized under the pretext of national security or public order. If the Ghana Police Service fails to act decisively within the next 7 days, as already stated, the GJA, in consultation with key stakeholders, will announce a nationwide media blackout of all police activities. We will instruct our members to withhold coverage of police events, refuse participation in police press briefings, and suspend all forms of editorial engagement involving the police. This is not a threat. And I want to reiterate that, Mr. IGP and your men, in uniform, this is not a threat. It is a necessary action to defend the dignity and safety of every Ghanaian journalist. And we shall do that. A major worrying trend happening now is the usage of our security agencies in causing harm and meting out brutalities to journalists. So we ask, are these frequent attacks on journalists under a precedent we can confidently and boldly say is our own? Because as we speak, the president is still a proud paid-up member of the Ghana Journalists Association who shares in the pain and plight of journalists. I would like to take this opportunity to remind our esteemed member, the president, of how far we have come in our pursuit of press freedom, and any attempt to take us back will not be accepted.
Albert Kwabena-Jomfo also announced plans to publish the images of military officers who have assaulted journalists and are yet to be held accountable. He added that the association will engage international bodies to, among other things, push for visa denials, disqualification from international assignments, and the withholding of promotions for public officers found to have assaulted media personnel.
The GJA shall, through its legal team, file several assault cases personally against officers who attack journalists. We shall not shield or allow state protection for individual misconduct. The perpetrators shall be sued in their personal capacity to bear full legal consequences. 2. Human rights petitions. We shall collaborate with human rights bodies locally and internationally to document and pursue justice for each assaulted journalist. Diplomatic sanctions. Engagement with embassies. Formal communication shall be sent to key embassies, including the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, France, and the European Union delegation in Ghana, urging them to 1. Deny or revoke visas of identified security officers who have attacked journalists. 2. consider such individuals as security risks and enemies of press freedom. For UN and international bodies, the GJA will write to the United Nations, UNESCO, the African Union, and ECOWAS to 1. Deny all international postings, assignment, and peacekeeping opportunities to known violators of media rights. 2. Demand sanctions and blacklisting of such officers from serving in international missions. Administrative pressure. Petition to security councils. The GJA will petition the Ghana Armed Forces Council and the Police Council requesting that officers who attack journalists be disqualified from promotion and subjected to internal disciplinary proceedings. The GJA shall publish the names, ranks, and photos of all identified journalist attackers in 1. Monthly front pages of major newspapers. 2. Key online news platform for a period of 1 year and all over social media platforms. 3. Notice board of all media houses. Notice board of all media houses. And these individuals will be labeled enemies of democracy and press freedom. Enemies of democracy and press freedom. We therefore urge or call on the Ghana Armed Forces to furnish us or publish the full details of the soldiers involved in this unfortunate act within 7 days. 7 calendar days.
You heard Albert Kwabena-Jumfor. He's president of the Ghana Journalists Association.
And you heard him mention there that one of the members of the Ghana Journalists Association is the president of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Now, recall that the president yesterday had his Minister for Communication issue a statement directing the Minister for Defense and the National Security Board to investigate the matter. Today, the president himself, while swearing in the 4 new deputy ministers that complete the list of 60 ministers in his government, spoke about the attack on Carlos Kaloni of Joy News yesterday. Let's hear what the President, John Dramani Mahama, said.
Allow me to condemn in the strongest terms the recent incident involving the manhandling of some journalists by our security personnel. Such conduct is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. I have instructed that the incident be thoroughly investigated and that the officers involved be sanctioned accordingly. As a card-bearing member of the Ghana Journalists Association, I will not preside over a government that abuses or intimidates journalists in the lawful exercise of their duty. A free and responsible press is indispensable to our democracy, and we must all work to protect the media. I'll soon convene a meeting between the heads of the security services and the leadership of the GJA to plan a program to orient our troops to recognize the media not as enemies but as partners in development.
So that's President John Dramani Mahama. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Still unbeatable. Republic Bank has slashed the Citi mortgage interest rate to a new low. That means it's more affordable to own your dream home. You enjoy lower monthly installments, save on interest payments, flexible loan arrangements, and more. Make the move. Own your home at a lower teen interest rate. But hurry, this offer lasts for a limited time. Visit any Republic Bank branch or send email to myhome@republicghana.com or call Accra 054-0109-649. Kumasi 054-0109-901 to apply today and enjoy a teen interest rate. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Oh,
Jump on now.
Go, the go. Go me. And what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they cost my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand them my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
We asked Ghanaian business owners what they want from Old Mutual.
I want insurance and pension solutions that will protect my employees.
Your business growth is our business. For 180 years, we have partnered with businesses to protect and grow the most valuable assets. From tailored group life assurance protection to affordable pension plans, we've got your business and your employees covered. Contact your broker or call Old Mutual on 0509-551-609 today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are told that leadership of the Volta River Authority and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, so that's VRA and NEDCO staff in the northern region, has announced the immediate withdrawal of all services in the Tamale metropolitan area. Let's speak to William Asari. He's chairman of the Senior Staff Association of NEDCO. Mr. Asari, welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Mario, and good evening to yourself and your listeners.
Good evening to you. Just to be sure, you serve the BA regions, the northern, upper east, upper west, northeast, and savannah?
You are very right. And some parts of the two regions and some parts of the Volta region.
And you say you don't go to work again. What does that mean?
Okay, thank you very much. Our staff has been attacked in Tamale and beaten to pulp. By the grace of God, we did not record the casualty. Our vehicles have been seized and parked at the Bupena Palace. We don't know what is our crime. Ours is a service that we deliver to the communities and the people. And if the people we are serving are beating us and threatening to kill us, then it is only wise that we stay away from going to deliver the service.
When did this happen, or when has this been happening? Okay, how long has this been happening for?
So this particular one took place yesterday. Around the same time, I got distress calls that some youth, you know Tamale very well. From the Bupena Palace, it's just a turn to our area office in Tamale. So these are workers that have gone out to resolve one transformer issue, one line issue, and they were returning to the office. When they go to the Bupena Palace, some use pants on them, took the keys from the driver, put him down on the ground, started clubbing him mistakes, and so forth. In fact, as we speak now, one of the drivers, his knees, he cannot stand on the street. Then took the car and went and parked the car at the Bupena Palace. 3 of our cars were seized. 3 of our staff have been beaten to pulp, and the cars parked at the Bupena Palace. We don't know what is our crime, what is our offense.
So do they say why they attack and vandalize your property?
No, nobody has told us anything. I will wish that people like you will ask the palace and the youth that went and parked the car there, what is our crime? What is the offense of NEDCO staff in Tamale that they want to kill a staff in Tamale?
Have you reported to the traditional authorities?
Oh, we don't report to the traditional authorities. Always is that we have made a police report. The guys were giving medical forms. They are attended to a hospital. We have made a complaint to the police. Assault is an offense, it's a criminal offense. And we expect the Ghana police, as part of their investigation, to visit the assault scene where the cars are fixed and ask questions. Because tomorrow, it's not anybody who can just drive a car and go and park at the palace. That just not anybody can drive a car and go and park at the palace. So we expect the Ghana Police Service, as part of their investigation, to visit the palace, take statements from people who came and park the car there. For us, we have reported to our management that, as enjoined by the Labour Act, that we fear for our lives and we are unable to go out and work. Omari, as I speak to you now, some of our staff internally are fleeing town with their families. They are fleeing town for fear of their dear lives. If you recall, this is not the first time myself and you are discussing this family incident. We operate in all the other regions, like you said. Never has any NEDCO staff has been assaulted in Savannah region, in Upper East region, in Northeast, except Tamale Metropolis. What is our crime?
Okay, so to be sure, your withdrawal of service doesn't affect the other regions, only the Tamale metropolitan area.
At this stage, let me add that just at this stage, there is something we call solidarity in union. Some in all the other areas have become aware, and I don't want to preempt what the decision of staff will be. The staff are angry and they are fed up with what is happening in Tamale.
How long is this going to be for, and what does the withdrawal of service entail? Does it mean you cut power to the people, or you just not go and collect the bills?
We will cut power to anybody, but if there is a fault, any other work that will require that we get into our vehicles, drive to the communities to go and resolve it, we are unable to do that because Tamale youth will steal our vehicles, beat us to pulp, and kill us if not for the grace of God. So we are unable to go out and attend to any issue.
Which means you cannot go and collect money either, so revenue losses.
Yes, we will not be able to go and collect revenue at this stage. For the fear of our lives, lives cannot be equated to revenue. We will not be able to go and restore power when there are outages in the various communities and towns in Tamale.
Thank you for speaking to us. I'm going to speak to the Ministry of Energy now, but thank you for speaking to us. That's William Asari. He's chairman of the Senior Staff Association of NEDCO. Richmond Roxon speaks for the Ministry of Energy. Mr. Roxon, has this come to your attention, the withdrawal of services by your workers in the northern part of the country?
Good evening to you, Sanders. Good evening to your cherished listeners. Yes, the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has taken notice of the withdrawal of services. The statement issued jointly by the Senior Staff Association of VRA and also the divisional staff of NEDCO. The first place will call for calm, but as a ministry, will call the residents, the staff association as well, that all stakeholders should remain calm. The ministry is working tirelessly to address all issues concerned. The security of staff is paramount to the ministry. Currently, the minister responsible for the sector is on a very short leave. And so the minister who has oversight is the Minister of Finance, Dr. Adom-Otchere. We will take steps to brief him immediately while we engage stakeholders to ensure that this matter is dealt with immediately.
But this is not the first time it's happening. This is something that's been happening for a while now. Why has there not been a solution all this while?
For the first time it happened, what we did as a ministry was to involve the security services to enhance the security of the personnel of NEDCO and VRA. I believe that we would have to go back to re-strategize with the Inspector General of Police, and if there's even the need to bring in the military, who engage to ensure that the staff who are carrying out their legitimate work are protected and not harmed. There's no point attacking personnel who are working. At the end of the day, they will ensure that there's power supply in the area. They also have the mandate to recover monies. And so if they are attacked, what it means is that our energy security as a country, especially in Tamale and its environs, are threatened. So we'll take the opportunity to also call on the residents of Tamale to cooperate with the officers or officials of NEDCO and VRA whilst they are doing their work to ensure that that their legitimate work is not threatened. Because if this continues, what it means is that if we are not careful, get to a point where power supply will be a challenge as a result of their withdrawals. But the most important thing is that the ministry will take steps to immediately address all concerns. The minister resumes on Monday. I'm sure that the supervising minister will take some steps together with the ministry, and then when the minister resumes on Monday from his short leave, comprehensive steps will be taken to ensure that the stepping of the past.
It's a national security issue, isn't it? Because you would have security installations in the north. With this decision, if the places are blacked out, and for instance, even a health issue too, because for instance, if Tamale Teaching Hospital has power issues and ECG NEDCO will not go in there to deal with it, that could lead to the loss of lives. This is an emergency situation that you should be dealing with as quickly as possible and not wait for the minister's return from leave.
No, I said that the supervising minister for the sector now is Honorable Enforcement, and that immediately that we are engaging him together with the stakeholders to ensure that this is dealt with. And also I added that on Monday when the minister comes, we'll ensure that this is a thing of the past with a work plan that we put in place. So it's not as if we are waiting till the minister comes on Monday. No. Immediately we are engaging the acting minister, the supervising minister, that's Honorable Enforcement, and also the stakeholders. We've engaged the MD for VRE, we've engaged the MD for NEDCO. They're also engaging the staff of the Senior Staff Association to ensure that this is handled immediately.
Have you considered giving police protection to the workers when they go around? Is that something that will be practical and possible?
Why not? This is a decision that will be made by the police service. Like I said, we are engaging the Inspector General of Police, RECSEC, that's the Regional Security Council for the Northern Region as well, and for them to give us a roadmap on providing security for the personnel to ensure that they are safe at all times.
Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you for your time.
That's Richmond Roxon. He speaks for the Ministry of Energy. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll be back with the latest in the world of business, and then we have Point Blank. Please stay with us.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inu Safu. Let's settle for the details. The business community is encouraging the Bank of Ghana to consider capping lending rates to help control price distortions in the market and improve access to credit after its most aggressive rate cut. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, tells Citi Business News that commercial banks must adjust lending rates. He maintains that unless interest rates are brought in line with the policy rate, consumers and businesses may not see the full benefits of the ease in policy stance.
With regards to pricing of goods in relation to the policy rate, we are calling on the commercial banks to respond appropriately, because they will have to bring the lending rate down. We get the cheaper interest rates, then of course we can transfer the gains also on pricing. So normally the gap between the monetary policy rates and the commercial rates are very wide and unlimited. I think there should be some mechanism from the Bank of Ghana to bring some cap or ceilings so that the banks can operate within. But giving them this unlimited access to overprice the interest and all that does not augur well at all. That's the next step probably the Bank of Ghana should look at.
Dr. Joseph Obeng is president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. The Bank of Ghana will soon introduce new policy measures to halt the increasing dollarization of the economy. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Asiama, insists the growing use of dollars in local transactions poses a threat to the long-term stability of the city. He made the comments at the 125th Monetary Policy Committee press briefing, where he warned that dollarization weakens confidence in the local currency and also complicates monetary policy transmission and exchange rate management.
I've been advising Ghanaians to price in the local currency. Always issue your invoices in the city. Enforcement, yes. In the past, we were active at enforcing these. And so we reserve the right to make use of the security agencies or whoever to enforce these. We have seen ways in which we can tighten the FX market. We don't intend to impose controls. What we intend to ensure is that there aren't too many leakages.
You heard Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama there. The National Insurance Commission is stepping up efforts to expand insurance coverage for smallholder farmers as part of a broader strategy to deepen insurance penetration across the country. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the NIC's 3IC Demo Day, Acting Commissioner Dr. Abiba Zakaria revealed that government is working to roll out agriculture-focused insurance products which will feature premium subsidies to make coverage more accessible for farmers.
Calling on the average youth to come and help us find solutions to them is one thing that we hope will help us to develop the appropriate product to meet the right people, the right time, and at the right price. And that's what we're doing. So this is one of the many initiatives that we have. We have also an initiative for the farmers in line with, again, the government's agenda of agriculture. And so we are coming out with an agri-insurance concept that supports financially. So we are we call it premium subsidy. We are subsidizing the insurance premium that they should have paid. This is because we recognize that most of our people in the farm areas, all the farmers, sometimes financially it is expensive for them to pay insurance premium, and we're hoping that this will go a long way to support them. We're also doing what we call the campus insurance care.
You heard Acting Commissioner Dr. Abiba Zakaria. The regulatory and fund management roles of the National Petroleum Authority must be separated to fix transparency challenges in the management of petroleum-related funds. That's the proposal of the Center for Environment Management and Sustainable Energy along with Revenue Mobilization Africa, which have jointly suggested that combining both responsibilities has fostered systemic inefficiencies, opaque practices, and misuse of state resources. They want Parliament and the Ministry of Energy to undertake the necessary legal and structural reforms for the downstream petroleum sector. There's more in the following report by Daniel Udrumensa.
The organizations noted three key revenue streams under the NPA's control. The Unified Petroleum Price Fund, where they indicated that with annual petroleum consumption estimated at 5 billion litres, the fund generates over 4 billion cedis yearly. However, 40% is transferred to transport operators, with the remaining 60% an estimated 2 billion cedis remitted to the NPA. The CSOs argue that the reported surplus underrepresents the fund's actual performance. They also cited the primary distribution margin, which is intended to support interdepot petroleum distribution. The margin yields over 1.3 billion cedis annually, with only a fraction of the margin expended on logistics. The rest, some 900 million cedis, is retained without clear reporting or public accountability. The CSOs further mentioned the cylinder recirculation margin, which imposes $80 per metric ton on LPG. They noted that the CRM has accumulated over $30 million since April 2024, yet uptake of cylinder usage remains low, with less than 1% of LPG users participating. They are demanding the Ministry of Finance to take over fund management responsibilities and for Parliament to initiate amendments to the NPA Act that would restrict the authority to regulatory oversight only.
Daniel Udrumensa with that Business Desk report. Just before I go, poor road infrastructure and limited access to capital remain factors crippling the efficiency and growth potential of the country's emerging tree crop industry. These structural bottlenecks are increasing production and transport costs across the value chain while discouraging investment. To stem the tide, the Tree Crop Development Authority is advocating for private sector involvement and bold, bankable targets to attract the investment needed to transform the sector. Dr. Adom-Otchere is CEO of the authority. He spoke at the 2025 Supply Chain Business Forum and Exhibition in Accra.
About 41% of Ghana's road network is just not in that good shape. Many rural feeder roads, especially the tree crop producing zones, becoming impassable during the rainy season. Another major consistent strain or constraint is access to finance. Access to finance. I know a lot of people work to us. They think TCDA should give funds. TCDA, we will definitely get there. What we'll do is we'll assist you to get funds to do that. We will link you up to the appropriate institutions to get funds. As I was coming.
That was CEO of the Tree Crop Development Authority, Dr. Adom-Otchere. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Ino Safo. Up next is Points Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Your family's health should never be a worry, no matter where you are in the world. Are you a Ghanaian in the diaspora, a foreign resident in Ghana, or a Ghanaian looking for the perfect health insurance plan for yourself or your family in Ghana? Then the Apex Ebusiapa health cover is what you need. A comprehensive health insurance plan to protect your loved ones. From hospital stays to life-saving treatments, we ensure quality healthcare at an affordable cost. Apex Ebusiapa health cover. You don't just send love home, you secure it. Visit Apex Health Insurance at Zion House, Bondi Road, Shashi East Legon, or call 0540-128-256 or 0501-683912. Apex Ebusiapa Health Plan. Global love, local care.
Powder. This advert is FDA approved.
Oh, jump on now. Go, go. Ugomi, I want time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they cost my mindset be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. So
where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go!
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. I am Umar Rusandam. Tonight on Point Blank, we are taking you to Parliament. Now, the Finance Minister has delivered the mid-year budget review, and MPs have been debating that. Today was a turn of leadership to conclude and wrap up the debate. So we're going to hear from Alexander Penyo-Markin, who is Minority Leader and MP for Efutu. Then we hear from Mahama Yariga, the Majority Leader and Leader of the House and MP for Bawku Central. Let's listen to their debate on the budget.
We immerse the economy. The evidence is there, and you've exposed yourself. 60-40 is what you are called on the streets of Accra. 60-40. 60-40 is your new name. 60-40. Give me 60, take 40. That is your new name. In fact, Mr. Speaker,
The MPP government reduced the deficit sharply upon taking office from 9.3% of GDP in 2016 down to about 6% in 2017 and kept it near 5% through 2019. The 2020 deficit of 17% of GDP was a one-off crisis response mirrored worldwide, which saved lives and jobs. It is disingenuous for the finance minister to label that life-saving effort as reckless spending. Let us also correct the record on Ghana's public debt and the claim of alleged insolvency. It is true that debt to GDP rose under MPP, no doubt, we admit, from 56% in 2016 to around 80% in 2022. But what drove these? We inherited significant legacy costs, such as the energy sector debt from their take or pay. They didn't analyze a contract, they didn't scrutinize, and they signed a take or pay contract and left it for a new government to inherit. These power contracts that were signed under the previous administration hit the economy, and it was a drain on public purse. I challenge them to rise to rebut this. We also weathered the external shocks. COVID-19 borrowing to cushion the economy and steep Citi depreciation as global investors pulled back, and they know that. Crucially, we put those borrowed funds into productive use, investing in infrastructure, education. They left their e-blocks, we completed them. Industry and social programs that benefit Ghanaians today. If the state finances were strained, it was in the course of building for the future and cleaning up of the mess, not to wanton waste. Moreover, Mr. Speaker, we took responsibility for tough reforms to address debt issue. We initiated the IMF-supported recovery program in 2022 and undertook a painful domestic debt exchange program. Mr. Speaker, they lambasted us on this. We paid a high price. We are in opposition. But today, that painful decision that came at a cost to us is what you are relying on to build the economy. Can you deny that? Mr. Speaker, the finance minister boasted that our debt to GDP ratio is at a 5-year low and that the public debt dropped by 113.7 billion in 6 months. Mr. Speaker, this is very misleading. The reality, however, is that no significant amount of debt has been paid off by this government. The statistical drop in debt ratio is largely due to the debt cancellation and restructuring achieved under the previous government, combined with the Citi's appreciation effect. We asked the minister, exactly how much of Ghana's public debt has this government repaid to claim credit for the reduction? The answer is inconvenient, virtually none. Ghana's debt improved because the MPP did the heavy lifting, including a historic external debt operation that achieved $5 billion outright debt forgiveness and 4.7 billion in debt service savings. That is real debt reduction. The current administration merely stepped into an improving situation which was engineered by its predecessors. Mr. Speaker, to further buttress this point, let us recall that under MPP stewardship, Ghana never defaulted on external debt until 2022 crisis hit at the tail end of our term. We consistently met debt service obligations until an unprecedented combination of events forced a brief halt. Even then, MPP swiftly devised solution, the Energy Sector Levy Act, to systematically pay down energy liability, fiscal responsibility law, capping deficit at 5% of GDP to instill discipline, and the debt exchange to restore sustainability. These are actions of responsible government, and we are proud we took such decisions, not a reckless one. The media review blasts our administration for high debt, but conveniently omit that by end 2024, Ghana's debt to GDP had actually fallen to about 70.5%. This decline was the fruit of the painful haircut and fiscal adjustment we undertook to reset the economy. Again, we take responsibility. We say sorry to Ghanaians. We had to take a painful decision to implement this, but you are taking advantage of these painful decisions without giving credit to us. Who is hypocrite in this matter? You are the one found wanting, and indeed, you are the political naysayers. You engage in double standard, and you are engaged in political hypocrisy. In short, the MPP cleaned up a grave situation, and now the new administration touts the cleaner floor as if it were their own accomplishment. What have you put in place? None. Mr. Speaker, let us address the narrative of wasteful spending under the NPP. The minister derided the former government's expenditure as waste. Yet we recall vividly that in 2020, the same NDC was loud, calling for a greater expenditure on COVID-related activities to alleviate hardship. They said so in this very chamber. They talk of debt unsustainability today, but their solution so far has been to go back to the IMF and rely on new borrowing under stricter conditions. The truth is that the MPP invested in Ghana's future. We rolled out transformational policies like the free SHS, built roads, 13,000 kilometers of roads. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, we introduced transformational policies to build the human resource capacity of our youth, such as the free SHS. Why are you quiet? We built 13,000 roads across the country and initiated the 1D1F to stimulate economic growth. Mr. Speaker, those investments are yielding dividends for our people. Meanwhile, the current government enjoys an IMF lifeline and fiscal space created by MPP's difficult reforms. They should be thanking the previous administration and not lambasting it. Mr. Speaker, the finance minister boasts that inflation has plunged from 23.8% in December 2024 to 13.7% by June 2025, implying some miraculous stabilization by the new administration. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's inflation story requires a longer lens. Yes, inflation is down from its peak, and that is good news for everyone. But we must remember why inflation spiked in the first place and how this trend was already reversing before January 2025. The reality check is that, Mr. Speaker, Ghana's inflation soared in 2022, peaked at over 50% year on year by December 2022, the highest in 22 years. This was not because of domestic fiscal indiscipline. It was largely imported pain, global supply shocks, COVID-induced supply chain disruptions, a surge in international oil prices, and the Russia-Ukraine war impact on food and fuel. Mr. Speaker, if this claim by us and will not shift, if this claim by us is unacceptable to our colleagues who are now in government, then I ask, why did President John Dramani Mahama recently say that the situation in Middle East would have effect on the economy? Therefore, he is inviting the finance minister and the energy minister to sit together to review certain government policies. If international shocks have no effect, why did the president complain that the Middle East crisis is having an effect on the economy? What a shame. Mr. Speaker, we saw transport fares up. We saw the price of imported foods going up and simple prices surged worldwide. Ghana, being a small open economy, could not escape this wave. Mr. Speaker, the The minister's own figure of 23.8% in December 2024 reflect this progress. To put this in perspective, pre-crisis inflation under MPP was lowest in decades. We ended 2019 at just 7.9% inflation, well within single digits. So while 13.7% in June 2025 is certainly much improved from the height of 2022, which we admit, it is not some unprecedented for a 4-year low as the minister suggests. In fact, it is higher than what we achieved in normal times before the global crisis. And what has changed in 2025? The sharp disinflation is the first half of 2025. It's largely a continuation of the trend that MPP set in motion under the IMF program and our economic recovery policies. With stable fuel prices globally and the Citi regaining some strength, prices of imported goods began to ease. The minister himself admits that the recent inflation drop, quote, is not by chance or sheer luck, unquote. Indeed, this was by design of policies that began under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government. Mr. Speaker, it was MPP that negotiated the IMF support package, which restored investor confidence and unlocked funding. It was MPP that started the Gold for Oil program to moderate fuel prices, and it was MPP's fiscal adjustment that reined in excess liquidity. But to claim, show credit, or trumpet it as a vindication of 6-man work is premature. Ghana's inflation was already coming down, and the global condition provided a tailwind. There has been no bold new anti-inflation strategy from the current government beyond sticking with the IMF guided path set earlier. Let us also recall that Ghana's longer inflation history for this House. Mr. Speaker, under the previous NDC government, that is 2012 to 2016, inflation was often run in mid-teens and even surpassed 17%. At one point, Ghana faced hyperinflationary pressures. Indeed, going back further, we had over 40% inflation in 2000 and had to redominate the Citi in 2007 due to cumulative high inflation eroding the currency's value. In the year 2000, the government in power was your party. It was NDC, and you took us to a 40% inflation. Now, those storms are passing. Inflation is naturally receding. The NDC cannot credibly claim to have fixed the inflation in 6 months, when the truth is that in Ghana was already healing. We caution that the 13% inflation is still higher than our pre-crisis norm. There is more work ahead to bring it fully into single-digit target band. That work requires consistency, prudence, not celebratory lapse after just half a year. I urge the finance minister, release monies to your ministers. Your ministers are idle. Your ministers are not working. Release their allocations to them. Pay their contractors.
Listen. Please listen. This is the IMF speaking. This is not the majority leader. This is not Ato Forsen. This is not John Dramani Mahama. This is Boli. He says, faced with large policy slippages and reform delays at end 2024, the new administration, that is the administration of President John Dramani Mahama, the new administration has taken bold corrective actions to maintain the program on track. So even the IMF program that you began, you delayed in the implementation of the measures because you were afraid of the 2024 December elections. So there were slippages, there were delays, all the measures that you were supposed to implement, you did not implement them, for fear that implementing them may cost you an election that you actually lost in the end. So this is what he said. Combined with ongoing reform efforts and an improved external position, the corrective measures are set to support Ghana in reaching the goals of economic stabilization, rebuilding resilience, and fostering higher and more inclusive growth. The authorities are strongly committed to restoring fiscal discipline and addressing the structural weaknesses that led to the slippages. They have passed a 2024-2025 budget consistent with the program's objectives and enacted and enhanced fiscal responsibility frameworks. Looking ahead, staying in the course of fiscal adjustments and completing the debt restructuring are key to ensure fiscal sustainability. Mr. Speaker, so it is not just the minister, but the IMF have given a clear indication that the measures we have put in place are the right measures. Mr. Speaker, it is not just the IMF. The various credit rating agencies, Fitch, and all of them have given a clear indication that Ghana is on the right path. Ghana's economic reform efforts have received a major boost as global rating agency Fitch upgraded the country's long-term foreign currency issuer default rating IDR from restricted default to B- with a stable outlook. And that is not just Fitch. All the others have given us a very positive rating. Mr. Speaker, civil society groups, everybody knows Imani Ghana. Everybody knows that they are a very impartial organization. When it is A, they say it is A. When it is B, they say it is B. After the Minister for Finance delivers his mid-year review to this Parliament, the President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, clearly threw his support behind the Finance Minister and the policy measures that he has been implementing. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the media review, you will take 10 key points. The media review does not request for extra funds. We're not asking for extra funds. An approval is requested, but the approval is simply based on the fact that there is some multi-year expenditure item and Section 33 of our PFM Act indicates that it has to receive parliamentary approval. Mr. Speaker, very good news reported in the mid-year report. Public debt dropped by 113.7 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the MPP left us with a debt exceeding 726.7 billion Ghana cedis. 726.7 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, within 5 months of becoming the finance minister, Atuforsen was able to drop this debt up to 113.7 billion Ghana cedis. This is clearly unprecedented. Somebody says that, where did he get the money from? That it is exchange rate. It takes intelligence to know that you can use exchange rate to pay your debts. It takes wizardry, economic wizardry, to know that you can use exchange rate alone to pay a lot of your debt. Why didn't Ofori-Atta use exchange rate to pay the debts? Why didn't Ofori-Atta use exchange rate to pay the debt? Why didn't he? Mr. Speaker, another key point that we take from the media review is that we are going to approach our infrastructure development more intentionally than we have done in the past. So the 55 major stalled infrastructure projects, we will not pursue all of them at once, because if we spread ourselves thinly, given our debt obligations, we might not be able to make significant progress. And so the minister has decided to concentrate on a few of them. Mr. Speaker, the minister is also following up to ensure that we clean the public sector payroll. And he has reported to us that he has conducted a payroll audit. And so far, what the audit reveals is that we have 150 million Ghana cedis in unearned salaries identified. 150 million Ghana cedis in unearned salaries. This highlights the level of corruption that has pervaded our public sector. That we cannot verify 14,000 workers and that 53,311 separated staff are still drawing salaries. So 53,311 staff who have left the public service, separated, are still earning salaries from government, whilst we cannot verify 14,000 workers. So in all, 150 million Ghana cedis is going as unearned salaries. Mr. Speaker, another major thing that the minister has indicated in the mid-year review is that the sinking fund is going to be populated with funds again. Indeed, I recall when the minister stated that he was going to begin to put US dollars in our foreign accounts and Ghana cedis in our local currency accounts, a colleague minister, a minister of state shouted, why is he going to do that? All the time when we come, we build these funds, and the day we leave office, and people will come and squander all the funds. Squander all the funds. Why is he going to build another fund again? So the M people will come in future and come and squander all the funds. When the finance minister, when I turned to the minister and I told him that I'm very sure that for a very long time the M people will not come. Mr. Speaker, the minister has also indicated that major reforms are taking place in the energy sector.
So that's Mahama Yerega, his leader of the House of Parliament. Earlier you heard Alex Apenyomak, his leader of the minority in Parliament. We were concluding debates on the mid-year budget review. Before we go, let's go to the Office of Special Prosecutor. We told you earlier that the media personality, host of Good Evening Ghana and former board chair of the Ghana Airports Company, Paul Adom-Otchere, was invited to come and answer some questions at the Office of Special Prosecutor. He was supposed to be there at 3 p.m. Our reporter who is there, Fauzu Masawudu, says he got there at 3 p.m. or thereabout. So what exactly is happening? Fauzu Masawudu, you are welcome to Eyewitness News. Did you see Paul Adom-Otchere? Did he come there? What's happening?
Thank you very much, Sandra. Yes, I saw Paul Adom-Otchere, and he was in the company of some men believed to be members or as legal representatives. He got here around 2:50, and he was in there for close to 4 hours because we saw him departing around 6:30, and that was in the company of the Ghana Police Service. We do not know where exactly he's been sent to, but the information reaching us is that he's been sent to the National Security to inform the police.
So he got there in the afternoon around 2:50 with his lawyers, based on the people you saw. Did he speak to anybody?
No, he wouldn't speak to anybody, and the media wouldn't get as close due to the restrictions at the premises of the OSC. But we saw him from quite a distance.
Do you know if he entered there with his lawyers or the people he went with, or some of them were returned?
Okay, well, we saw him enter with the people who got to that. As to whether they went together into the place where the interrogation happened, that one we cannot verify. But we saw him entering the premises actually, and inside the building of the OSP with the people he arrived at the premises.
You said he left there with the police. Can you describe what you saw exactly?
The media was ready to capture the moment, but then they drove the car very closer to where, and in fact, he didn't exit from where he entered. They drove to another part of the building where we understand that there was an alternative exit, and then he sat into the car, and then we also saw that the police had gotten closer to the pickup vehicle. And so he moved, the police vehicle was in front, and then the vehicle that he had arrived in with his legal team was behind. But from close observation, you could tell that Paul was in that of the police vehicle.
So it means that they put him in the police vehicle and drove away?
Yes.
And so you have not been given any briefing beyond that? The people around him have also not said anything?
No, they wouldn't say anything. They just drove off.
But you've heard that they've taken him where? Bluegate?
Yes, we understand they've taken him. If a member of parliament for Tafo, a convinced a while ago, they said that he's been sent to Bluegate, the national institution. So he's calling on party members to send the plane.
I see. Thank you so much. So you are going to Bluegate now. Just be careful. That's the National Security Authority headquarters. Thank you. That's Fauzu Masawudu. He's my colleague here in the Citi Newsroom. So the news is that Paul Adom-Otchere reported to the Office of Special Prosecutor, and based on what our reporter has observed, he has been taken away to the National Security offices. At least that's what he has gleaned. The Office of Special Prosecutor has not said anything to the media team, neither did Paul Adom-Otchere's team, but it's just something he observed from a very safe distance based on barricades that have been put up at the OSP. We'll follow that story, and if there's any other development, we'll share with you. That's how we end tonight's edition of Eyewitness News. I am Omaru Sandamado. I did this with Eno Safo. Production by Beverly London, Kwabna Wilson, Juliana Odami-Asari, Sami Wiafi, and Mano Ayama. The technical support from Daniel Squashi, new media support from Yimano Osu and his team. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening and have a good night.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.